Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome back to the rod shop. Today we're building 5 identical light inshore spinning rods, so stick around. Okay, I know you guys are maybe thrown off a little bit. Your setup a little different. I'm trying to get it where you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to zip through 5 identical builds. We're going to start with the handles this morning. I'll use the I'm going to use the paste, which is supposed to be 1 hour, but I always give my blanks, my handle sets about 4 hours to cure. Actually, these probably won't touch them again till tomorrow. But I'm going to zip through really quickly how I do this. So to start with, here's the recipe. It is a Bushido, it's an American Tackle LS7/8-15-W. Which is a 7-foot rod. It's 8 to 15 pounds, so that's going to be in your medium power, and it's 3/8 to 1 ounce on your lure weight. This is a really nice trout, redfish, snook rod. If for you light inshore guys, if you're freshwater, it's a great lightweight worm rod. It's got enough bend back to it. There is. You really start to pick up the power in this range, which is about, that's about 2/3. So light tip gives you the ability to throw lighter weights. Better backbone in the middle here will set a hook. So this is great for throwing live bait in salt, shrimp, greenbacks, whatever. This is also, I would probably throw light worms, light plastics. Maybe small to medium crankbaits on it. Nothing too big. But anyway, let's get started. There's your blank. What'd I do with my stuff? Oh. Alright, Nathan. Alright, too much stuff in the rod shop. So here, that's my handles, that's my guides and my tip tops, and then I have some custom labels that Foundation made for me for the 10th anniversary of the Make-A-Wish Fishing for Wishes fundraiser, where we raise about $200,000 in a saltwater slam tournament every year. I'm just happy to be a part of it. I donate these rods as the prizes, as my part for the Make-A-Wish. So let's break them out. So we're using wind grips. I'm going to break them all out real quick here. Get everything laid out. We'll do this real time so you guys can see exactly what it takes to do this. Now, this video may get a little long and some of my tools are missing. I know where they are. Stand by. Yep, I had these out in the dirty part of the shop yesterday, working on a cover. Let's open these up. Now these wind grips can be a pain, the butt grips at least. Can be difficult to size, but I ordered them to fit pretty close. I think I can glue these on with the lubrication from the glue. I'm gonna glue right up. You just gotta be careful. If you have to open them up a little bit, I just use a regular steel drill bit to open them up uniform throughout the middle. You just gotta be careful you don't drill a hole in the bottom through here. Alright, there's 3, 4, and number 5, and this is the BTW 250 BLB. This is a 2.5-inch fighting butt in blue on blue. So there's our butt grips. Here's our rear grip. We have 5 of these. 1, 2, not in the trash. 3. 4, and number 5. This is the SL 350 BLB, which is a 3.5-inch slim light mid grip. That's what they call it. I call it a rear grip, but it's because I never use a foregrip, so the language doesn't really work for me. These are the Aero Custom Comfort, the Aero CCT comfort grips. Super sensitive. Gonna mate right up, be perfect. We'll have a butt grip, ba-boom, and we'll get started. This is my prototype hand wrapper I built. This is the last time you're gonna see it, because as soon as I finish building these 5 today, I am gonna ship it to Steve, who is a channel member who has asked me a lot of questions about it and wanted me to build him one. And I have some things about it I'm not thrilled with, but I'm just gonna let Steve play with it and see if he sees the same things I do. Now, it may just be me and being persnickety, which is what I've told I have been in the past about stuff, which is possible, and that's why I'm going to send it out. I'm going to build another one after I get his feedback. So anyway, this is the Aero CCT 16 size reel seat. Alright, so we've got all our parts. Alright, so while we're doing parts, let me give you guys the rest of this recipe. I am using the microwave air in chrome. It's stainless. It's the shiny stainless, not the black stainless. This is the AW set. And I will also be using the air tip tops, and these are the AWT 6. Ooh, can't see. AWT 6-5. So we got a 5 tube on these. And then hook keepers will be ALX hook keepers, and they're all in a pile up there because a couple days ago I was trying to find some extra guides, and I had my box open right here, and I turned and I bumped it, and it wound up upside down in my trash box, which is now clean because I had to pick through it piece by piece and get rid of it to find all of the guides that had disappeared in my trash box. So anyway, my problem. Alright, I gotta put this back up. Now, if we're doing cork, let me rephrase that. These wind grips, you have to be careful reaming them, because you will melt and deform them if you try to go too fast with your reamer. So this is kind of a small ID. The larger ID ones were not available, and I was on a time crunch because I procrastinated and got busy out there on the Stratus and forgot to order everything. And then now I have the tournament is actually 2 weeks from today. So let's get started with the reamers. Now I'm going to power ream these. I have my DeWalt drill, and I have the power reamer set that I bought at Mudhole. Now you have to start. I'm gonna try to get it so you guys can see this. You're gonna start and you're gonna ream this stuff very slowly. So what I do is I'm gonna ream a mitt. I'm gonna let it turn slow, because you're almost grinding this stuff off and not. I guess it's the same. It's sanding. It feels like you're sanding the cork. It will grab and bite, but you gotta just grind really slow so you don't get too much heat. And I just let it slip. Let it slip. And I know that I go to at least the end of this reamer and probably about halfway up the next one to get the right size, but I can feel it heating up in my hand already, so you gotta be very careful. Come on. DeWalt makes great drills, except they can't seem to make a keyless chuck that stays. Alright, let's check it. And keep some of this dust. Now I've already splined these rods. These medium, they don't have, and it's painted, so it's not a really crisp blank as far as splining, but we splined them yesterday. See, that's about as far down as we're going to get on this blank with that grip. So we're going to the next size reamer. Which is this one. And I'm going to keep going. Be careful not to overheat it. Alright, let's see where that gets us. You don't want to ream it where it's loose. The EVA and the wind grips, you want them pretty snug when you pull them up on the blank to their final spot. That's going to be close because it will slide down and stretch. You want to stretch them a little bit. That's going to get us where we need to go. So now that I have one reamed and I know that I need to ream it on the second reamer back to here, I'm going to knock these others out real quick. You guys stand by one. Alright. Okay. I think that's got them all. Okay, so let's do a test fit on all 5 of them. I'm going to want this trigger stem actually at about 12, which that's a little short. My imitation spinning reel here. And it's still a little long. I like that. It's about 12 and a half. Feels about right. By the time I get it balanced, it's going to be perfect. Okay, let's do a couple things. When I'm building multiples, I know that this is going to bottom out. Whoopsie. It's going to bottom out right here at the black. So that's why I was holding it off the end. They got me to my 12 and a half on my stem. So what I'll do now is I'm going to take a piece of tape, here, and a pen, and a speed square. And what I'm planning on doing here is making this very repetitive and easy for me. So they all are identical when you hold them in your hand. So regardless of what the measurement is, that is the bottom end of our rear grip. So I'm going to put some tape on it to hold my mark. Ooh, I got a label I got to peel. Oh, this is the same as the label they gave me to put on. I will make my own labels. Y'all will see that. Ooh, I got dirty. So let's clean some stuff up. Paper towels. Just a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. Good for picking up dust and getting smudges. And it dries quick. It dries quickly and does not leave any residue. Get all the sticky off of there. I've got Goo Gone, but you gotta be careful using that stuff if you're going to be gluing afterwards, because that leaves a film. An oily film, and glues just will not stick after that. So there is number one. I got my spine marked here. I'll put this back in place, and we'll just start laying these out. So I've got blank number 2. Now I'm just going to put a little tape on there. Exactly on my mark. It's on my stand. Blank number 3. Just get these prepped so when we go to glue in a little bit, everything will be ready. Ooh, number 4 feels way too snug. It does not feel right. Alright, that one may be a little snug as well. Alright, let me touch these up. Looks like I should be the same. That feels a little better. Again, you want to squeeze them up on the blank, but you don't want to have to force them too much. And I've seen people do it different ways. That's just how I like to do it. Alright, so I've got one more mark here for my tape. I'll run through and check them all again. That one's fine. That one's a little long. That one's fine. That one's fine. That one's on the money. Perfect. Okay. Now, here's how I'm going to do this. I am probably going to add about 1/4 ounce to the butt of this blank, because these blanks are tip heavy. Don't like it. I'm going to get set up, get everything ready to glue, make sure I can see where my spline is, because we want to put the seam on the spline. No, we do not. We want to put the V on the slime. So we want to put the V. I'm building the wrong way. Happens. So in these, you guys see this? There is a V pattern. We want to make sure we don't twist it like this. We just want it to line up on the spine, and when we push it up to here, we won't take much glue at all. In fact, I may actually use the liquid, because you're going to squeeze almost all of this back out anyway, and the liquid is a little less viscous, so it'll get in the pores, I think, a little better. So we'll take a quick break, And I'm gonna turn some AC on, so because it's getting warm out there already. It's, I don't know, it's 8 o'clock. And we'll be back and knock these 5 out real quick, so you guys don't go away. And we're back, I hope. Maybe, I don't know, I hope so. Let's get a few things down here, some supplies. We're gonna go with the 5-minute Pro Glue, just to glue the rear grip in place, because I don't want to glue everything up at once, because I went and I found some old 1/4 ounce lead weights that we are going to balance this rod with and make a huge difference in how this rod feels. We've got our tape marks to where we're sliding the rear grip to. We've got a tape mark that shows the spine, and the spine is going on on the seam. I don't know what I was thinking earlier. I'm tired. That's on me. I just wasn't thinking clearly. But when you fish this rod, the spine is on the seam. So when you're holding the rod and you're looking at the beautiful little arrows here in your hand, you got the spine in the right place. So yeah, spine is on the seam. So we're gonna get some cleanup materials here handy. We're going to mix up a little bit of Pro Glue at once, and I like using my pick, which one? This one, to mix and then spread, and then I'll slide it. We'll line it up, and we'll stand it up and let it sit for probably a half hour before I get back on it. I know it's 5-minute glue, but I just don't want to push it. So, alright. Let's mix up just a little bit. Are we running cameras? That one's blinking. That one's blinking. Awesome. Cameras are playing nice today. I shouldn't have said that out loud, because probably I'll quit here in about 2 minutes. And then there'll be some unrepeatable words said off camera, I'm sure. Alright, so I'm just mixing up about a nickel size. That should do 2 or 3. Nickel of each part, A and B. And then I'm going to take my little spatula thingy here and see, I've already got sticky on my hands, and this is why I don't wear gloves. If I had latex gloves on and I had just a little bit of sticky that came off the outside of one of those bottles, then I would grab this blank and not know that I just left a glue fingerprint on it. So I'm going to keep my hands clean as possible. Okay, we are definitely doing seam on the spine. We're going to mix this up real quick. The clock didn't start till we started mixing, so the clock just started. Just got to mix them up. It turns a little bit opaque, which means you got it mixed pretty well. And I'm using a little spatula device here, and I'm just going to smear. Like I said, when we push this up, most of it is coming back off. Make sure I know it's probably hard for you guys to see it on this white blank, and I apologize for that, but that's the theme of this year's event. It's the 10-year anniversary of us doing this. I have built the first place prizes for all 10 years. It's my small part in the fundraising activity. Okay, now we want to slide pretty much straight. I know I tell you guys to spin, but if you spin these winds, that seam line will come, it'll get twisted. And there's the first drop of glue on this wrapper. Okay, let's check it. I'm going to stand up and look, so you're probably going to see my bald head. We're pretty close. That's exactly right where I want it, right there. Make sure your seam is nice and straight down the blank. There's the spine. Get a little bit of residue. We're going to take a dry paper towel first and just peel that off, keeping a clean part of your little paper towel square there, touching the blank as you spin. Now I'm going to peel this tape mark off. Just that helped us with our cleanup a little bit. I'll take one little square, maybe. Come on, fingers. Well, maybe I'll take two. No, I finally got one. Just a drop or two of isopropyl alcohol. And then I'm just going to wipe. And that is one. Now let's see if we can get another one done with the same batch of epoxy. This is where your prep comes in. And we're ready to go. Yep, this epoxy is still good. Let's get it on. Get it all the way around this white blank. I know you guys are having a tough time seeing it because I'm having a tough time seeing it. I think I've got it pretty well coated now. Okay, now let's line up the spine. See now how that seam had already twisted a little bit? I don't know if we're getting that back out. That may be permanent. The pattern on the top is fine, so let's slide it up there. Come on. You can do it. Get on in there. This one's not wanting to slide. I got it. We are lined up on the spine. That one didn't want to slide. I don't know if that's just my hands are weak this morning or I didn't ream that one quite enough. So let's get the excess epoxy off, and we're not quite there yet. Let's go down a little more. It slides pretty easy like this. I just, for some reason, I can't grip this slick blank. Okay, we're lined up good on the spine. Let's pull our tape off. Hit it with a little bit of alcohol. Number two is done. And yep, I got sticky on my hands somehow. Alright, let's put number three on. How are we doing with this glue? We're still in good shape. It's getting a little stringy, which means we need to hurry before it sets and we have to scrape it off. So let's slide this one up. Get it on. Seam on the spine. Let's check that. Didn't get close, still gotta go down. Oh, a little too far there. Seam is right on the spine. We stopped right at the tape line. Let's clean it off. And that's going to be it for this epoxy. You're going to have to mix up another batch to do the other two, which is fine. But in a half hour, you'll never move that again. And we'll be able to continue with building these fiber rods. So I'll glue up these other two. Next time you guys see these rods, we'll be balancing and installing the reel seat and the butt grip. So that's it for part one of building multiple identical rods at the same time. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.